definitely want to give a shout out to UEF. They've been creating an infrastructure for grassroots-based esports for quite some time, and Master Hand Gaming is a founding partner of UEF, the United E-League Federation. You want to register, play games, and earn credits? Start your career in esports today. You got to start somewhere. UEF is as good a place to do it as any, creating earning opportunities for players, commentators, organizers, live producers, and so much more. You got a question, they've got answers. Hit them up in the Discord, discord.link/UEF. And we will get to the other slides right after this game number one. But frankly, I think you're here for the games, not the ads. So put that in the back of your mind. Don't worry about that. We'll get to them. It's all good in the hood. We're pretty freewheeling around here on Master Hand Gaming. So let's go. Lucas versus Peach Ajax. This is going to be wild.
Absolutely, and everybody worried about the ads. We got bills to pay, but these players got money to make, and they're going to get into the first game to play right here. This is the run back of the Lucas versus the Peach. I like the idea, considering how the way Ling handled the SS before. It seemed like Ling understood the way Webb wanted to operate. So go with your primary win condition. Go with what has always been good for you. That is the Lucas, especially after the way that Webb just played that last matchup against C-. He's already warmed up and feeling good, but you got to pay attention all of the opportunities that you have to capitalize on Ling, because as we've already seen, Ling is not one to let a large lead get out of hand, get out of a fight.
Yeah, and now you're seeing WebbJP trying to exert that stage control, and the PK Fire is going to be a tool with which they do it. Provides quite a bit of knockback compared to Ness's, so definitely something to look out for, and certainly one of the tools that WebbJP is quite used to exacting in their arsenal. And one of the things, Ajax, that might just equalize in terms of stocks should WebbJP find themselves down in that particular count, because it's something that we've seen WebbJP go for when they see their opponent near the blast zone, certainly more than capable of killing from that distance. And wow, right now though, getting guarded down below. That's how you combat Lucas down below the ledge. They can recover from anywhere, but there's no guarantee that they won't run straight into the hitbox, and certainly those turnips taking their toll. Eventually the back air is going to take the first stock.
Not only was the ledge trap difficult, I mean, one of the things, one of the worst nightmares of the PK kids is a Peach with a turnip in hand. But Ling with a turnip in hand in particular is so frightening. But Ling's just able to cover over the top of those defensive options, caught the miscued air dodge, trying to get away from the scary spot because you assume a tomahawk coming and getting that back there. And we've already seen 92% put on since that stock, barely anything taken on the first stock. And this is where things get really difficult when you're fighting against a player such as Ling caliber.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem, isn't it? Eventually, yeah, that was definitely up throw percent, especially on Pokemon Stadium. The fact that this character has that many kill throws certainly does not hurt, but the shortcomings of this Lucas character certainly are being made bare when you're talking about a character like Peach with the combo game. My goodness, get carried all the way up to 87%. Ling is kind of reeling after that, is able to get a few standard hits in, but WebbJP is in is in striking range and indeed does get the lead. But I mean, like all things, that must pass. Webb trying to make it back to ledge now, and this is a very real possibility for Webb. Catches him with the up air. Ling now needs to be careful with their landing.
Right at the ledge, because not only do you see that Ling has been hovering around the ledge trying to catch you, but you use the wind box pull in of the side magnet to get Ling to come over to you and then almost get this sneaky reversal that we've seen Ling do so much throughout this. But Webb, we've been waiting for that damage to come on throughout this set, and he has completely shown his true colors here, getting an 87% string, getting him back into this game, even after that KO from Ling is now back to 0 to 13%. We were looking at a full stock lead before at the very beginning. This is really turning out to be a wonderful game number one.
Yeah, I mean, WebbJP never underestimate their ability to combo. That nice little spot dodge on the turnip, going all Matrix on this sucker. I know that movie is 20 years old. I don't care. I like it. And now with WebbJP, I mean, this is gameplay that is certainly not dated. It is about as fresh as you're going to get. This, as JP is, I mean, taking the fight to Ling, though Ling, as any member of a royal family would do, trying to squash the discontent as quickly as possible.
Hey, much like Keanu Reeves, life has been renewed and career is up and running. And this is exactly what we saw out of Webb in that last stock. It didn't really matter that he was running down in the dumps, kind of running behind before, able to get a very quick combo. And we're already seeing getting some reversals here, but that landing forward is going to force Webb into a spot where he got caught on the Zair. You got to be forced to recover high. Ling almost getting the clank there with the turnip, not going to do it. And that allows Webb to get back on stage. The shield pull coming through. It's getting very close. Both of them at kill percent, and also that much closer to kill throw percent is Ling.
And exacting, again, stage control, trying to get back, and indeed that's what Peach does so well. It's one of the things that they can do so effortlessly, and eventually it's going to be Ling handing down a divine mandate. So it has been said, so shall it be done. Game number 1 goes to Ling.
Sometimes you just got to write it into the history books, and unfortunately that whiff grab was one of the mistakes that brought down the kingdom, and Webb was looking for an aggressive approach from Ling because Ling already put a couple back airs on shield right there, so it's like, okay, he might be coming back in, he might be looking for a shield poke with the back air on top of me, but no, Ling waited out just long enough, and punishing the whiff grab with that forward air is going to be enough, and my goodness, what that game 1 was. That could have gone either way. I think this one might be going the distance. We might be calling already an early look at what could be a Game 5 set.
It kind of makes you wonder. It has that feeling, doesn't it, Ajax, where they're just trading blows and they're so capable of just garnering so much momentum on such a quick distance that if it goes neck and neck for one of these games and you start to see one of these individuals pull ahead, I mean, it's going to be hard to make that comeback. And as we go to this game number 2, they want the run back, so back to the stadium we go. And, yeah, JP and Ling certainly looking to square up yet again. Early advantage going to Ling. And what did I tell you about that combo potential, especially at these early percentages? You find yourself above any of these characters, they are going to make you suffer.
That's one of the last places you want to be, is directly above Peach. And for that matter, the way that Webb plays directly above Lucas, we've already seen multiple of these up air strings come through and just tear apart damage. And all this started just because of the fact that both of them were kind of staggering on shield hit, looking for the one miscue, and ended up being in Ling's favor. But still, 37%, nothing to be shy about, nothing to worry about, because we've already seen that damage get put on. But Ling's starting to slowly force the situation he's looking for, get him near the ledge, and that near the back here is something we've seen steal away games. So if Ling was anywhere near that sweet spot closer to the ledge, that could have possibly been the stock.
Tap dancing on Peach, doing his best Savion Glover impression and trying to get themselves back to the stage. Webb is trying to work for it, but Ling says enough of that nonsense. You ain't making it to a compilation by a damn sight. This is my set, and I am going to take it and take an advantage in game number 2. If by a stock, it's still a significant one when it comes to mental.
This is why we do what we do, offline or online, it does not matter. Watching in situations like that, where Webb not only was in a spot, we got caught off guard with Ling going deep, but then going and just putting the PK Thunder into the farthest possible spot under the stage, and then almost getting back, but Ling was still able to close it, get off the close it. That is just incredible situation. But great job from Webb finally finding the opening that he needed with that up throw. I'm sorry I scared you, Sweet Lou, but this is just one of those sets that's going to get me riled up, and just the same as Stu as we watch this game continue to progress and the high quality gameplay that these two are putting on right now.
I don't scream, I project. Anyway, we're going after Ling trying to get to center stage, but WebbJP can basically count on that to happen. I mean, WebbJP more than content to kind of hang out near the edge of the stage, trying to get that back throw and exert pressure at ledge as much as possible. It's kind of been the game plan as we're seeing WebbJP kind of scoot towards that. So if Ling gets center stage, so be it. But then again, you do have to combat these aerials that are just so prominent, as you're trying your best to tap dance on the body of Peach as much as possible. And there you go, the Savion Glover impression coming through yet again from WebbJP. There's only so much that you can do against Peach in the air, but this Lucas trying their best. But as soon as you find yourself grounded, Ajax, you are teed up for a swing with the golf club from Ling.
Ling is quite literally cooking throughout this whole set and pulling up the frying pan to catch not only an anti-air attempt, but just to get that stock and send straight off the top. So good. Now, this is one of those situations, once again, where we're seeing Webb from behind. Granted, only at 121, so you get one of these kill throws pretty close right now. Back throw, not going to do it just yet. But if Ling can continue to reverse these ledge guards like we've seen him do multiple times before, that time not going to get away from it, going to get caught by the up tilt. But Ling can find his way to big damage. This could be a very scary situation for Webb. However, Webb's not going to let that happen. Going to go ahead and close that out and put it only at 18% here on the last stock.
Yeah, and at 18 now, I mean, this is a decent position for Webb to be in, but has to maintain it. One combo just picked up almost 30 percentage points upon you. So, yeah, you're getting those nairs in as much as possible, trying to even the gap. And, you know, this is not a game that is won and lost on the scoreboard. It's basically just 3 stocks, and that's it. How you take them is up to you to decide, and up to Divine Providence, I suppose, to direct whether or not it actually happens. And the stitch at the ledge, just when you think you're safe, the turnip and the stitch rears its ugly head.
Like you said, Divine Providence, known as RNGs, is coming through once again for Ling.
Praise be.
Gonna pull out the stitch. Here it is. That situation, most players would have just KO'd. But no, Webb not going to give up and actually getting forced into a situation where he was almost able to make it back, and Ling having none of it. But Ling coming through in the end was so necessary because of the fact that if you get a stitch on the last stock like that, if you do not win, you are deserving of everything that comes to you in the future. However, one bad thing that I am willing to call right now, whenever, and I'll say Ling in particular, starts pulling RNG pulls like that, things get bad and fast. I would not be surprised within the next match, probably by stock 2, do we see another RNG pull like a stitch or a bomb. I'm willing to bet on that right now. It's kind of crazy how ridiculous his luck gets after he pulls just one. That's a bit rough for Webb, and you're playing pretty well, and then all of a sudden a stitch comes through at the end. But the way Webb's been playing, I don't think that you should be too worried going to the next game. But we're going to see the switch over to the ZSS, which is more prominent in the matchup. No worries about being edge-guarded off stage nearly as much as those PK Thunder 2 attempts.
Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about floating back air, certainly a wayward turn up with a scary face, well, there's nothing. It's not a problem that flip kick can't necessarily solve. Getting tongue-tied just talking about this. We're going back to Pokemon Stadium, but then again, we're talking about DI mix-ups and all sorts of mix-ups in the air. I mean, why not a little bit of word mix-up as well? So excuse me for that, but yeah, that's Ling pressing buttons at the ledge. Webb saying that I can do that too. But yeah, you can't really jump into that, or else you're going to find yourselves in a world of hurt, and sooner rather than later.
Last thing that Webb wants any more cook, and he'll take the word salad that you're tossing out there. The way Ling has been playing, and are you seeing here in this third game, just really just kind of understands the way that Webb wants to approach with his DSS. Now, I've said it in the past, and I know I don't get the best of reactions from the stream whenever I say this, but sometimes you just have to camp and you have to play defensive. You have to find those opportunities by making the other player get a little bit too aggressive for the opening, and that really is what allows you to find it as a ZSS in this matchup. But so far, not able to do nearly as much because Ling has just been covering so much, looking for the low recovery to possibly get an early KO. And that somehow reached that far. I did not know Toad could spit up that far to punish a side B or is there from ledge.
I mean, it's the Plasma Whip reach, so the Spore might as well also. You know, that's only fair. That makes sense. Either way, WebbJP, it was a little shocking to me too, admittedly. Missing on that poke with the Zair, and Ling doing well to avoid what WebbJP has been dishing out. I mean, up until that point, commentators curse, blah blah blah, but either way, that's going to be a confirmed into up smash for the first stock, and you definitely want to avoid the turn up that time. I think WebbJP perhaps catching on just a little bit.
Yeah, one of those things now, here we go. Starting to play back a bit more, putting out a bit more different aerials, and then you go for those short hop forwarders to play the anti-air game and keep each grounded. But one of the things that Ling has started to do as the set has progressed is go in with an option, make it look like it's going to happen, and then back off. Now, looking for the anti-air up smash right there, actually leading to big damage into a situation where Webb actually finally closing the gap. There's what Ling can do about it, otherwise Webb might be able to finally get the first stock lead in a little while.
So now as we are going to move right along here, Webb is looking for the kill and was perhaps expecting Ling to go to ledge, hence the down smash, but is instead going to be caught above. You want him to go low. Ling goes high, and all of a sudden takes WebbJP down to their tournament stock. A spot in Grand Finals well within sights, and revenge at lights at stake here for Ling, and to do so by the tune of 3-0. WebbJP has not taken a game off of Ling just yet. The comeback has to start right now.
Yeah, this is where all the money needs to be made. You have to put all of the secret tricks you have in your back pocket out on the table now. You have to find your way in on Ling. You have to find your way to keep Ling grounded, get this big damage, maybe snipe out an early KO at the ledge. This is something that ZSS is fully capable of. But Ling already finding the one opening, maximizing the damage by comparison in the neutral interactions. But you already see Webb looking for that nair at the ledge, trying to find one of those spikes. Not going to get it.
I mean, that really is it, isn't it? Where you're trying to maximize your interactions, basically just counting cards at the blackjack table, and Ling having none of it. Oh, but that burial, I honestly thought that could have been it, but Webb just simply not in position with which to follow up, and that seems to be the case, isn't it? Where Ling has been more of a position to capitalize on the mistakes that their opponent has made, rather than the opposite way around. And Ling trying to get this kill, and indeed they do. That's a blackjack if I've ever seen one, and that is Ling going up 3-0 and into Grand Finals where lights awaits.
Perfectly played, regularly attacking at a disadvantage in the right spots. A lot of times when you're fighting against the ZSS, because of how good that up air is, most of the times the ZSS assumes they're going to win that trade. But because of the fact that Ling kind of positioned himself in proper times with those down airs and the falling back airs, was able to come out on top. It's very, very difficult when you're fighting against somebody who you assume might not attack in a position that you think is going to be a punish, and then they just smack you away. Rough matchup. Overall, actually, no, not rough matchup, but rough set overall. Obviously, Webb, we've seen how good he's been able to play, but definitely not something we should sleep on in the future. Even though he wasn't able to take a game today, the matches progressively looked better and better as they went along for Webb. So I think the next time these two run into each other online, you might be seeing a different story. But like you said, first, we got to see the rematch. Moving into Grand Finals of Lights versus Ling.